Okay, so in this episode, I want to go over off-page SEO. So off-page SEO is essentially everything that happens off of your website. In the past episodes, I've gone over kind of some of the things that you can do to optimize your site, to kind of improve the pages, building the right site that's obviously going to get results, building a page that is structured in the right way that's obviously going to rank for the right keywords and things like that. So I thought, in this episode I'll kind of go over a broad overview of what off-page SEO is, and then how you can actually kind of start doing this to build up your authority, to build up your rankings, and basically your online presence, to make sure that you do get onto page one for these keywords. So for example, I thought I'd just use a random keyword, but like wood flooring company in London. So this is the keyword that I'll focus on, just to kind of demonstrate the kind of concept. So basically, the main things that we'll be looking at here is firstly something called backlinks, and then we've got citations, and then we've got branded assets, and then we've got social media. So branded assets and social media are kind of similar in a way, but I thought I'd just kind of put those on separate lines, just to kind of show you some of the websites that are kind of more considered branded assets than obviously social media. But essentially what would happen is, when you actually start like an SEO campaign, then the first thing that you're going to do is optimize your website. You're going to make sure your website is in a good place. You've got all of the right keywords and content on there, structured in the right way. There's no technical errors, basically getting your website in really good shape. So if anyone does land on your site, they have a good experience, and then you're going to potentially kind of convert them into an actual visitor. Once you've kind of completed the initial step of on-page optimization, you then move on to something called off-page SEO. So off-page SEO is then trying to kind of essentially promote your website, trying to show Google that you are the kind of experts within the industry, within your area. These are the keywords you're trying to target. So you can really split SEO into two parts: on-page SEO and off-page SEO. So let's just go through these things one by one. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is citations first, because citations are pretty simple. So a citation is simply your name, address and phone number cited across the web on sort of directories and places like that. So citations are more important for Google Maps. So if you wanted to rank your Google business profile, one of the first things that you'd want to do after you've optimized your Google business profile, so after you've actually gone onto your profile here and filled out all of this information like this company has, you would then want to start building citations to your website. And your citations should match exactly what has been written in the address on your Google business profile. And I'm talking, word for word. Now, I've noticed that Google does pretty much shorten like road, lane, all of those kind of words. You can still write road, but for some reason Google shortens that on every profile. But really the name, the address of your business should match up on every directory that you add your business to. It should match up to this address here. And this address here should also be on the footer of your website. I think we also spoke about that in another episode, how it's important to make sure that your website, your web address, your business's address is in the footer of your company website. So what kind of citations are we looking for? So you really want to be signing up to all of the kind of main directories. So what I'm talking about is places like Yelp. You've got, I'm just trying to think now off the top of my head of the directories. Let's put local directories in, and you'll see, Thompson local. Although it's coming up like people services and things like that. But you're going to want to sign up for the main ones in the country that you're based in. So for instance, local directory UK. You can just put that in, you will see some of the main ones that come up. Facebook is also considered a bit of a directory as well, because with a Facebook profile, you're able to put your name, address and phone number into it, and it is really kind of considered a bit of a directory, because you can kind of put that information in there. But yes, you're going to want to make sure that you sign up to all of these, and you're putting your name, address, and phone number on them that corresponds to your address that's in here, and your name, address, and phone number that's in your Google Business profile. You're also going to want to sign up to any local directories as well, so anything that's within your area. So for example, if there was directories that were specific to London, for example, like if you was a wood flooring company in London, then you'd want to look to see if there's any kind of local London directories that you could sign up to. And then also something else you'd want to do is look at whether there's any industry specific directories that you can sign up to. So there might be a flooring directory or something like that. And again, because it's an industry one, it wouldn't necessarily have to be a local one. You know, an industry one could potentially cover more than one country. So you know, you would want to make sure you're signing up to those sort of directories as well. So how do we actually find directories that your competitors are already signed up to? So one of the ways to rank on Google is to kind of reverse engineer what your competitors are already doing. Because for example, if this company here at the top, Wood Floor Specialist or Natural Wood Floor, Wood Floors for You, if they're already on the top of the search results for the keywords that you want to target, then they've obviously done something right to get there. So what we can do is kind of reverse engineer what they've done. So one way, two ways to do this in fact. The first way is to basically do a bit of a manual check. So you can take whatever website it is. So in this instance, we'll use naturalwoodfloor.co.uk. And you can come over to a Google search and you can search like this. You can put in search, you can put in site, and then you can put naturalwoodfloor.co.uk. And then basically what that's going to do is that is going to bring up every listing that this website address is on. So now if we scroll down here, you can start seeing that there's directories and things like that this company is signed up to. So for example, let me just, I think you need to put it without a space, sorry. So it's going to bring up every page on their website, but it's also going to bring up every kind of directory that they've signed up to as well. But you can pretty much scroll through all of this information here and try and find you know, where this company comes up in. In fact, actually, I think I've done that wrong. So because I don't often use this way, but that brings up all the pages on their website, sorry. But then what you want to do is put naturalwoodfloor.co.uk in quotation marks like that, and then that's going to bring up where this company has all of their where their company has listed their web address. So for example, if we start going through this now it's in quotation marks. You can see that obviously they've got it on Facebook, they've got Trustpilot, they're on Houzz, they're on Pinterest, they're on Specified By. I'm not really sure what that is. So you know, there are going to be things that you probably don't recognize, but you can see they're on. You can see they're on X. You can see they're on interiordesignindex.co.uk. So you know, that's an example of like an industry specific one. You know, obviously it's not totally flooring, but interior design would relate to flooring, so that's why, you know, that's potentially a good directory for you to put your website onto. You can see they're on yellowleaf.co.uk. You can see barber product search. I think that's a brand, isn't it? So they're obviously on like on their brands kind of sites as potential like stockist or suppliers and stuff like that. Construction.uk.co.uk. This is a very popular one for the UK. I think most kind of local construction and home improvement businesses are on that directory there, so that's definitely one to add yourself to. And basically the list goes on, so you can go through here. You can see there's like 10, potentially more than 10 pages here. Well, no, there's 10 pages, but you can basically go through all of these different sites that this particular company is on, and you can look at the ones that you think that you need to be on, and then you know, you can start building a list of the directories that you should start signing up to with your business and your website. So that's one way of doing it, is to do a manual search like that. So again, just to reiterate, you want to put the website address. I would remove the HTTP bit and the HTTPS bit and just put like the domain like that. So naturalwoodfloor.co.uk and then nothing else behind it, because obviously that's going to bring up the most results. Whereas if you put like HTTPS up, then that would only bring up potentially the sites that have got it exactly like that. So basically search it like that, and then you'll be able to see all of the different websites that they're on. Now, one thing just to mention is that isn't foolproof this way. Sometimes Google doesn't necessarily pick up sites that they're on. It might not have crawled or indexed the page that they're on or something like that. But it's just worth, like I say, this is just one way to kind of quickly check what kind of directories that they're on. And you can see they're even on forums and things like that, like Mumsnet. They've obviously posted something there back in 2015. So forums is also another kind of strategy where people can kind of put some information about their business on there to, again, trying to get kind of more coverage around the web. So anyway, that gives you a rough idea how to do that. Next way is to do actual competitive research using like a tool. So for example, the tool I use is SE Ranking, and what we can do is we can take the URL of the company that we're researching. So for example, copy link address here, then you'll go over to a tool like this. They're all kind of working pretty much the same way. We might want to go here, so we go to we want to go to backlinks because we want to look at the off page. And then we want to go to the backlink checker. And then if we enter, oh, I don't know what I've copied there. Why is that not? Okay, right, it's copied more than just that. So we just want the root domain. Right, I haven't searched the root domain, have I? I've just put that in again. So now most tools will give you like a backlink kind of report, and then what we can do from the backlink report is you can see that this website has got 642 referring domains. So a referring domain means website, so one referring domain is one website. So essentially there are 642 websites that are linking to this website. And then we got backlinks. So out of the 642 websites that are linking to this website, there are 2,100 links from those 642 websites. So what's that? There's probably roughly around, on average, kind of just below 4 links per site that point from each of these. So roughly out of 642 websites, on average, you're probably looking at like sort of 2 to 3 links, maybe even 4 links for some websites. That are pointing to this website, which is where you're getting 2,100 backlinks from. So these tools basically give you everything you need to know about the kind of websites that are linking to your competitors or your own website. So what we can do here is we can click into referring domains. You can see really quickly that these are the directories that they've got. Now, obviously, this is a full list of every single domain that links to this website. So you're going to have to kind of look through all of these different pages here. You know, there's 33 pages, and some websites can obviously have a lot more links than this. Some could have a lot less links than this. So it really does depend. There's no kind of average. You kind of just have to, every website's different. But you can see straight away anyway, you can see like they've got Pinterest that are linking to them, Euro pages, House, Yell. You know, they've got all of these different Euro pages seems to have linked to them from all of the different sites around the world. And you can just keep kind of scanning through all of these different links here, all of these backlinks, and looking at the different websites that are linking to them and kind of building up an idea of the directories and sites that you also need to sign up to. Because really, like I say, if you can kind of sign up to the sites that is already pointing to them, they've already got results. You know, they're already on page 1. So if you're signing up to the same sites, then again, you're kind of going to sort of work your way up to competing with them. So this would be the first step, is obviously just looking through here and then making a list. Now, most of these tools as well allow you to export. You can export into Excel or something like that, or Google Sheets, and then you can kind of start looking through them and trying to pick out the ones that you think are worth doing. So that's really kind of an overview of citations. Now, it's probably also worth mentioning that there are a shit ton of tools out there that will do a lot of this process for you. So one of the biggest tools in the market in SEO is Bright Local, and quite often you can put your website into one of these tools, and then what that's going to do is it's going to kind of crawl of all of the other websites that are kind of similar to yours in your area, targeting the same keywords and stuff like that. And then it's going to generate a list of all of the directories that they're signed up to, and then it's going to give you like, you know, a list of the directories that you are missing. You know, it's going to look at the ones that you've signed up to, it's going to look at the ones that your competitors are signed up to, and then it's going to generate a list for you, and then you can basically just go and sign up to those directories. And to take this a step further, you even, you know, a lot of these tools here like Bright Local, and you know, there's tons of others out there, but a lot of these tools as well, they will also do the actual signing up to the directories for you as well. So it's not as daunting as it sounds. You know, obviously, like for example, if you've got a list here, 33 pages of backlinks to go through, and you identify maybe like 100 different directories that you need to sign up to, you'll find that a lot of these tools here actually take a lot of the hard work out for you. So yeah, if you are going to do this, it probably is worth looking at a service like this, because you're probably going to spend hours upon hours doing this otherwise, if you try and do it manually. So that's directories. Then I'm going to move on to backlinks. So like I say, I was talking about directories, but citations is kind of what I'm referring to. So the next thing we need to look at is backlinks. So basically, a backlink is a link from another website that points back to yours through a particular keyword or anchor text or something like that. So, for example, if you're a wood flooring company in London, you're going to want to try and get links from other websites that relate to wood flooring, or even wood flooring in London. So the idea of a backlink is every time you get a link from another website that points back to yours, it's passing authority from their website to your website. And with every single link that you get, it keeps passing that little bit of authority more and more, and then over time it's going to help your website kind of build up the authority, and then you're going to start ranking higher for the keywords that you're trying to target. So, you know, if you was trying to target, for example, wood flooring company in London, and you had a page built for wood flooring company in London, then you're going to potentially want to start building links to that page that relate to that page. So you're going to want to go out and get placements on other websites where the anchor text, so when I say anchor text, I mean the text that we're actually inserting the link into, where that anchor text you know, has one of these types of keywords in it. So for example, it might say wood flooring London, and then that link then goes to your wood flooring London page. So that is one of the biggest tasks that you would do in SEO, to try and, obviously aside from optimizing your website, in terms of off-page, building backlinks is one of the things that you need to do every single month, month after month, year after year, to keep building up the authority of your website, and obviously trying to target the keywords that you're trying to target. So for example, if you're trying to find websites to get placements on, then one way to do that would be, for example, make a list of all of the most related kind of industries to flooring. So, you know, if we was just to come onto a Google Note here, and then we just put in here like interior, interior design, you want home improvement, can't type at the moment, construction, building, you know, whatever it is, you could probably think of, you know, hundreds of different kind of industries that relate to flooring. And you can even do like a quick search. Industries that relate to flooring. And then you've got things like Gemini now, like the AI overview thing that comes up here, or you can use something like ChatGPT or something like that. It's going to give you lots of ideas. But you can see here, like, you can see you're going to get websites and things like that come up and talk about different industries that relate to flooring. And then basically, once you've built up this list of these different industries that relate to flooring, you can then start trying to find websites that you can get placements on. So for example, if I was to put into a Google search, home improvement you could put like home improvement, and then you could put right for us. So now what this is doing, when you're searching like this, you're going to put home improvement and then you're going to put right for us. You're going to see that a lot of websites these days will put right for us somewhere within their content, so that when you do search for like a niche or an industry like home improvement, and then you put right for us at the end, you'll notice that all of these different websites come up here because they're offering placements on their website for you to be able to write for them. So these are all websites that essentially like accept like guest posts and things like that. So basically what you want to do is kind of go through these lists here. You want to go through on like further than page 1. You want to be going back through like sort of, you know, as far as you can where the results are still relevant. So you can see like the householdguide.co.uk. To me, straight away, that sounds like quite a good website to get a link off. So you would go onto here. You can see that they've got right for us. They've got guest post. You can see that you would have to email Kirsty at householdguide.co.uk, and then you can potentially land yourself an opportunity to write on their website. So you kind of want to build up kind of like a big list of websites that you can kind of reach out to through email. You can even phone them up if you needed to try and then get placements on their site, to try and write, you know, content and then add it to the site, and then you would add a link back to your site. Another strategy that you can also do is reach out to them and see whether they would add like a link insertion. So for example, a link insertion would be adding a link to an existing article. So for example, if you looked through their website here and you found that today's home improvement, they're talking about windows. Let me try and find something that's a little bit relevant. So 3 things to look for: plumber. Probably not going to be anything about flooring on here. Now I'm looking for it. Wood. I mean, that's perfect. From bark to art, wood brings elegance to your home. So you would find an article like this, and then you could potentially say to them, you could reach out to them with the URL of that article, and you could say, right, I've seen this article that's on your website. I can see in here you talk about wood flooring. Would you mind, you know, inserting a link from this website back to our website? And then obviously the negotiations that you have with this person or this company to obviously get that link in there is down to you. So, you know, whether it might be money, it might be that you do something for them in return. You know, there's all kinds of like deals and things like that. It's like any other type of business where you would basically try and come to an agreement as to, you know, why they would let you put a link on their website. So, you know, this is a perfect example. If you're a wood flooring company and you wanted a link back to your wood flooring London page, then this page here is going to be absolutely perfect for that, because you can basically go on here, you can see that this is an existing article. Google's probably already crawled and indexed this page, and one way to quickly tell whether they haven't done that would be just to copy a little bit of text here, go over to a Google search box, put a quotation mark, paste in the content, put another quotation mark behind it. And has it come up from bark to art? So it has sort of come up, but I'm not sure that's the same website, householdguide.co.uk. And then you can see, so it has come up, but it looks like it's come up in a different website, which is weird. Or in fact, no, it hasn't. It looks like this whatever. So it looks like this website here and this website here have copied their title, but they haven't copied their content. So this piece of content here is currently not indexed. Basically, if it was indexed, you would and you put that in, you would see this exact web page here come up in the Google search. But you can see at the moment it says it looks like there aren't many great matches for your search. So basically what that's saying is Google hasn't indexed this page yet. So anyway, you know, it might be worth trying to find if you're going to do this strategy where you are going to try and get link insertions, then you're going to want to find a page that's already been indexed by Google, because if you're putting a link on a page that isn't indexed or not getting crawled, then obviously Google's not going to see that link. So, you know, you'd want to make sure that you're getting links on the right pages. But you can see there is a link here, wood wall paneling. So see where that actually goes to. So the Wood Veneer Hub. So this looks like a flooring company, and they're obviously trying to sell flooring products in an e-commerce store. So Oh no, I don't think it's floor actually. I think it's looks like wood walls or something like that, whatever you call it, cladding or something. So you can see this company here has probably reached out to this website here, got a link insertion, or even written this article, not sure which one, but then that link is now pointing back to this page here. So this is obviously the page that they're trying to rank. So if we look at the anchor text, they've put wood wall paneling, and if we look at the page that they've linked it to, you can see that in the URL at the top here it says wood wall paneling. So you can see what they're doing is they're matching the exact keyword that they're trying to target in the anchor text that points back to this page here. And this is exactly what you want to be doing. You want to be having links from pages like this that are highly relevant to your page, and then you want to be obviously linking back to that page through that article. So any authority that this website's got and any authority that this page has is now not all of it, but it's going to be a little bit of authority is going to be passed from this site to this site here, and that's going to increase the authority of this page here, and it's going to increase the rankings of this page. And obviously if they're targeting, for example, wood wall paneling, then that keyword is going to kind of get a little bit more visibility in the search results. So if we search for wood wall paneling, perhaps they'll come up, perhaps they won't. What is it? The wood veneer hub. So yeah, you can see the wood veneer hub. So whatever strategy they're using for this page, obviously you can see part of their strategy there, but it is working. They've obviously optimized the page well. They've built links back to the page, and now you can see that they're ranking at the top of the search results. Now, I don't know the authority of this site, so I'm not really sure, whether the actual domain's got more authority, and that's also helping it get to the top of the search results. But anyway, that kind of gives you a rough idea of how you would kind of link to your website from the different sites and stuff like that. So that's obviously one way of trying to find backlinks. So other things that you could write would be things like guest post. What did I have for a minute ago? Write for us. There's all sorts of terminology that they use to try and get you to find them. So you're going to want to kind of research the kind of terminology that they would use on the pages to try and get you to kind of find them. So that's one strategy anyway. The other strategy would be to kind of like not necessarily ignore sites that are advertising to kind of allow guest posts and things like that, but the other strategy would simply just to try and reach out to websites that you think would be a good link for your business. So even if they don't have like write for us or guest post or opportunities to kind of write on their site or anything like that, even if they don't have that written on their site anywhere, don't let that put you off, because often the best websites don't necessarily advertise that they want people to kind of write on their site. So you could use a tool like this, for example, and you could reverse engineer again what your competitors are doing, because again, if they're at the top of the search results, they've done something right to get there. So you could look at the competitors on page one here. You could look at the top 3, 4, or even 5 competitors here. I'm talking about actual competitors. I'm not including things like Checkatrade or anything like that, because they're not really your competitors, to be honest. But you could look at these top kind of 5 competitors here, and you can put them into tools like this, so like SE Ranking, SEMrush, Ahrefs, any of those tools, and you can do what I've done here. We do like a domain search, and we can look at all of the kind of we can look at all the domains that they've got, and we can try and find ones that are that are where they're getting links from good quality websites. So if we go back to the results here, what I should probably explain now is not every backlink is created equal. So for example, if I was to get a backlink off this website here, and then I was to get another one off this one here, this one and this one might have completely different kind of authority. This one here might be receiving a lot more traffic. It might be more established. The article that you've got the link from might have been on the website a lot longer. It might get a lot more people reading it. Whereas this website here, on the other hand, you might find that it doesn't have a lot of authority. Not many people visit the website. Not many people see the page that you got the link on or anything like that. And then, you know, perhaps this isn't necessarily, you know, as good a link as this one here. So this link here is going to do much more for your website than this one here will. So when you are looking for backlinks, I don't want to go too deep into this because essentially, really, your job at the moment, to be honest, if you're going to start doing kind of off-page SEO, it's just simply to try and land some links from relevant sites. I wouldn't kind of dig too deep into like the, you know, like the technicalities of some of these websites and kind of the stats and stuff like that, because really just landing links from relevant websites with relevant pages is going to help your website increase in terms of rankings and authority. But you know, as you start going on down the line, you're going to want to start looking, you know, maybe at the finer details of the websites and the quality of the websites. So for example, if you went onto SE ranking, you can see here that you've got something called domain trust. Now, domain trust and page trust, they are very similar. So domain trust is basically the kind of overall score of the website. So basically, these scores are out of 100. So if you can imagine the top websites like your Facebook, your eBay's, whatever it is, all of the kind of websites, Amazon, for example, their authority score, their trust, their domain trust, their authority score, whatever you want to call it, is going to be like 98, 99, or even 100. So you can imagine they're the top tier websites on the web. They've got the most authority you can possibly have. They're the most trusted. There's not a lot that Facebook, Amazon, eBay, or any of those websites can do that is going to really affect their kind of authority, unless they did something absolutely catastrophic. But there's not really a lot that's going to kind of change their authority. So if you can imagine, you know, like the top tier website is like 100, and then kind of a middle website is roughly around 50, and then a low website is probably, you know, 20, 25, and below that. So these scores here, like the domain, the domain trust, that's the overall domain, and then you've got page trust, and that is just the authority of the page itself. So for example, if we go back to here again, and we was to click onto like this page here, and then we go onto their blog, if we can get on it, and then we just click on one of their articles, and we was to plug this article, this actual page here, into like one of these tools here, you will see that this page has a specific trust level. So, you know, you'll then see whether this page, you know, is a good quality page or not based on this score. However, this score is not Google's score. This score is what this tool has kind of made up. So when I say made up, it's kind of looked at all of the kind of referring domains. It's looked at the backlinks. It's looked at, you know, the quality of the backlinks, the traffic they're getting, and things like that, and it's come up with this score based on that. So I wouldn't really like rely on this score. This score here is kind of a score to kind of have a quick look and a quick glance at this website to see whether it's actually worth, you know, whether it potentially is any good. You know, for example, if the domain trust was 0, then you'd probably realize very quickly that you know, it's a website that's never had any kind of like never had any kind of trust or anything like that, and it's probably not worth getting a link from. So that's one kind of score that you can look at. And then another thing that you're going to want to look at is the number of referring domains in comparison to the number of backlinks. Now, this number here, the number of backlinks in comparison to the number of referring domains, should not be wildly different. So, for example, what this website here has got, you've got 642 referring domains, so 642 websites. And like I mentioned earlier, out of the 642 websites, you've got 2,100 backlinks. So, you know, you're looking at kind of like I mentioned earlier, like roughly sort of 2, 3 or 4 links from each of these websites to then obviously equal this. Whereas if for example, like the backlinks here, if the backlinks were like 10,000 and then the referring domains were like 500, then those two numbers are very like disproportionate. So you're going to quite quickly realize that a lot of these domains here that are linking to this website are probably quite spammy, because really it's only the kind of spammy sites that kind of give, you know, hundreds and hundreds of backlinks from one site. Most kind of sites will only ever give you kind of 1 or 2 links from them. So a really quick indicator as to whether one of these websites here, whether it's gone, where is it gone? One of these websites, a really quick indicator to see whether one of these websites is quite spammy would be to look at this kind of difference in referring domains and backlinks. And then obviously to dig a little bit deeper into this website, something else that you potentially want to look at would be kind of the amount of traffic they're getting. So for example, if we went to research, let me open that in a new tab so we don't get rid of that last one. But obviously, again, these tools are going to be able to do this kind of research for you. And this is a rough estimate of how much kind of traffic this business is getting. So you can see at the moment it's getting roughly around 47,000 visits per month. You'll actually notice, if you ever look at Google Search Console and then you compare it to these tools, you'll find out that these tools massively underestimate the amount of traffic that they're actually getting. You'll probably find that they're probably getting around 3 to 4 times this amount of traffic. But basically the way these tools work is they scan the search results, and then they look at the rough amount of traffic that each of those keywords are getting that they're ranking for, and then it kind of calculates the rough amount of traffic they're getting per month. But anyway, you can see it gives you a rough idea. You will find that this chart here, though, this does correspond to Google Search Console. So if you was to look in Google Search Console, you would see that the trend is roughly the same as what it is on these tools, but the traffic might be quite a bit different. But the point is, what you're trying to do is you're trying to look for websites that have got a good amount of traffic coming to them. So, you know, for example, and not just the website, you're looking for pages that get a good amount of traffic. So if we wanted to write on a website like this, again, we'll go back to this one here, the household guide, and then we went to blog, and then we found an article that we wanted to get like a link from. You know, I'm just going to use this one as a random example, and then we found that this website had no traffic. It had no traffic at all. No one was visiting this website. No one was visiting this page, sorry. It doesn't get any traffic. And then again, we put it into Google search, and we find that it's not even indexed. In this instance, it is actually indexed. You can see there. That's what I was trying to explain earlier. When you put that in like a quotation mark, you can see that it comes up in the search results. But, you know, if we found out that this article was getting no kind of traffic, then again, that could be a rough indicator whether or not this is a good website to get a link from. So, you know, like I mentioned earlier, like you can go quite deep into kind of looking and analysing whether pages and websites are worth getting links from. But kind of the main thing that you need to think about is relevancy. Relevancy is probably the number one most important thing. And then once you do kind of establish, is it relevant enough, then you might want to start looking into some of these different factors here and decide whether it's worth your time, you know, potentially writing an article for them, you know, or paying them for a placement on their website, or whatever it is, whatever deal that it is that you come to them with, you know, to try and get a placement on here. Because, you know, I can't really tell you how much it's going to cost to get a link off a site like this. I can't tell you how much time it might take to get a link off a site like this, what kind of article you'd need to write for them. Every kind of website has different terms and conditions, and some websites, you'll notice and also the best websites don't often ask for any money or anything like that, because they don't need the money. The best websites to get links off are the ones that kind of just want good quality content on their site, you know. So don't think that you have to kind of pay every website to be able to get a link on there. There are other ways of getting links. So that's kind of a rough overview. One last thing to kind of mention when you are trying to kind of assess, do like an off-page audit. You know, for example, if this was your competitor, naturalwoodfloor.co.uk, and you wanted to rank for wood flooring company in London, then you'd want to look at this competitor here. You want to look at this one, and you probably want to look at every single website on the page one search results for this particular keyword, or any other relating keywords that you're going to try and target. You want to put them into software like this, and then you'd want to look at their referring domains, because, for example, if you notice that every page on every website and every page that ranks on this page here, if you notice that the referring domains they've got is, you know, relatively high. So for example, you know, like this one, the reason this is coming up as 642 is because that's the root domain. But for example, I think they're all like this one here, JFJ Wood Flooring. So you can see they've managed to rank their website, the London Wood Flooring page. So if you was to put that specific domain, so exact URL, and then search this, so you can see that page there, which is quite interesting. This page here, there's no backlinks pointing to it. So this page is ranked entirely off of the authority of the overall domain, not this page. So to me, if I was going to optimize for this keyword, that would tell me that potentially this website here and this company could be beaten by building a page that is perhaps similar to theirs but better than theirs, and then building backlinks to that page, because it kind of shows that if they're ranking on page 1 for this page here without any backlinks pointing to this specific page, then it kind of, we could potentially build a page that we could then build backlinks to, and obviously improve on the content, and then outrank this particular page. But you'll probably find that they've built quite a lot of backlinks to their actual root domain. So that's the kind of analysis that you want to be doing. You want to be looking at the websites and the pages that are on page 1. You want to be looking at the number of referring domains and backlinks that they've got, and then that would be your kind of rough aim if you're trying to kind of compete with them. If you're trying to compete on page 1 against these different competitors here, then you're going to want to look at the kind of average amount of backlinks that they've got, and then you'd want to work out how many you can build on a kind of monthly basis to try and beat them and knock them off of these spots. Obviously, providing that everything else is kind of, in a good place, like your on-page SEO and stuff like that. So that's kind of as much as I'm going to talk about with backlinks today anyway. So that kind of gives you a rough idea of kind of what you need to be doing. The kind of last thing that I want to quickly go over would be branded assets. So a branded asset is basically going to be anything that you can put your brand onto, you can claim as your own. So your website is a branded asset. That is your main branded asset. That's where you're going to basically point everyone to, where you're going to try and get them to go to your website. Obviously, that's where you're going to convert them. It's where you're going to sell your products and services. It's where you're going to get them to take the action that you need them to take. A branded asset, on the other hand, is going to be something that you can basically claim as yours, like a page that you can claim as yours. So, for example, a branded asset would be something like a Reddit page, like you've got your Reddit profile. It might be your Facebook page. It would be all of your social media profiles. So you've got Pinterest, you've got things like that. You've got YouTube. You could create your own YouTube page. But also, things like House. So if we go on to, I think I saw, in fact, if we look at this website again, naturalwoodflooring.co.uk, and we look through some of the profiles that they've got, you can see like Trustpilot, that would be a branded asset. It would be sort of a directory as well, but you can see like if we go on Trustpilot, this is their own page with their own brand on it. House, again, they've created a page specifically for their business, which they fully control. They can add images to it, they can add information about their business on there, projects. You've got all kind of information that you can put on here, credentials, reviews. And you've got obviously their Facebook, Pinterest, and then you've got things like Quora, like I mentioned earlier, Reddit. You can put stuff on there. So basically, a branded asset is going to be anything that you can kind of build and add your kind of branding and your name, address, and phone number and things like that to. Because the more of these kind of branded assets that you've got around the internet, the more Google can kind of confirm that you're a real business, the more kind of trustworthy you are, because you're trying to just kind of flood the internet with your kind of brand name and kind of reinforce your brand. So I'm not going to go much into this because you'd need to kind of like go through all of the different profiles and things like that you could potentially create and put your branding on. But essentially, you just want to kind of look through the different websites and stuff like that you could potentially add your business to, create your own page for, and then obviously link back to your main website. And they would that would help kind of increase the authority of your brand around the web. So yeah, I'll probably go more into that on another video, because it's kind of a deep topic. So yeah, so that's really it for this video. I just wanted to kind of give an overview of off-page SEO, and kind of give you an idea of the kind of work that you'd need to be doing to try and get your business to rank for the different keywords and pages and stuff like that. So, you know, obviously if you're targeting these different keywords like wood flooring London, or it might be LVT London, carpet London, or anything like that in the areas that you operate in, this is the kind of research that you need to do. These are the kind of links that you need to build, and they're the kind of citations that you need to build to try and get your business to rank. Now, this kind of work is not like once and done. This is the kind of stuff that needs to be done again and again, month after month, and essentially all the time you're trying to market your business, all the time that you're trying to get your business to rank and stay at the top of the search results, whether it be on Google Maps, whether it be organic here. You're always going to want to be building backlinks, and you're always going to want to be keeping your citations up to date, and obviously looking out for any other potential citations that you can add to your business. So yeah, that's kind of the overview. Obviously I hope it all makes sense, and obviously as usual, any questions, let me know. So yeah, thanks for watching, and